neurologist, and the day my fellowship ended was a Friday, and the next 2 days later, Sunday, I was on a plane to my first assignment. I've worked, but I've never actually had a job. What I did instead was, you've all had substitute teachers in school, and you know how chaotic the classroom can get. I did substitute physician work as a neurologist in what's called locum tenens. The locum tenens industry is actually very big. There are many companies in Atlanta, as well as Salt Lake City, that do locum tenens. And I did it in part because, just like they don't teach corporate in college, you may have heard of that book, they also don't teach business in medical school. And I thought that by being a journeyman traveling neurologist, I'd be able to sort of approach each assignment as a business school-like case study. I never went to business school, but a lot of my dorm mates and roommates in college, that was their ambition at a time when it just seemed like the most alien and strange way to spend your life. It just made no sense to me to ever want to go to business school. And then I realized it's what reality is about. And it actually became fascinating to me as a locum, where each place I would go, they generally need to bring in a temp neurologist because there's a problem, either a planning or a mishap or a personnel HR issue. So what I've been doing in recent years is thinking through that while the agencies have all the information and do their placement, it's the physicians doing locum, and they may not make it a long-term career move. For many of them, it's a bridge position between permanent long-term work. There's no one who's providing an advisory service or just being a pathfinder or a guide to them, because the contracts are written by the agencies. Physicians generally don't have much legal background, and there's all of this stuff that goes on that I've been in some amazing situations. One, say, where I went to a hospital and I couldn't obtain a record when I walked into the patient exam room. And it happened on day 1, and it happened on day 2, and it was strange. So I actually turned to the medical assistant, and she said, "Oh, that must be one of the records or the charts that the FBI took." And no one had warned me that I was in a hospital that had been raided by the feds. Okay? And I wasn't sure that I really wanted my reputation associated with that, but that's not the sort of thing that the agency was ever going to tell me, and they had a very naive answer. So in my own reading on business, I've learned about something that's called the business model canvas. And in developing my company called Locum Launch, this advisory with a teachable as well as a instructional forum, more of a discussion forum, where I get to hear back from other people's collective experience. Because if you're a sub, you're usually the only one. So who do you talk to? Well, the business model canvas is, before you write a business plan, you really need to actually understand what it is that you're trying to do and experiment with it, thinking it through. I've gotten really lucky in that by signing on to the company strategizer on their email list, a strategizer developing this business model canvas, tomorrow they're giving an online webinar. And knowing that there are some people here who are in the healthcare field, I'd be interested in actually watching that webinar with you. So my ask is, can we agree tomorrow, early afternoon, I'll give you the details later, can you join me in watching this? Because I'd like to hear your way of thinking through your business model so I can compare it with the thoughts I'm having about mine. Thank you.